Hi, Crosslancer. I'm specifically saying hi to you because I'm not sure how many other people are going to watch this video because it's Dynasty Warriors, a very uncharacteristic series for me to get to. So, since it was your Patreon request, I'm just talking directly to you and alienating everybody else watching this video in this opening. So, without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? Let's go. All right. Ooh. Okay. I love the sound of this kit. Very crisp. Very tight. Woo. Man, that hi-hat must be like a... God, it sounds like a 12-inch. It's probably a 13. Very thin. And bright. Ooh. All right. The toms are very full. Big contrast in the drums already. Whew. Okay. Let her breathe. The sound of this guitar is very nostalgic for me. I can't figure out why. I think it just reminds me of old video game music, which... Yeah, that tracks. The kit in this song, I really wonder what kit they used to record this because it's very tight, very bright. Great harmonies on the guitar. Great melody on these synth strings too. Oh yeah. Ooh. The guitar is really having a fun time with this one. I wonder how many solos they went through in recording before they landed on what they got. And one more reprise, probably. Circle back around to the chorus. I'm really interested in the mixing of this one, actually. I'll get into why when the song is done. It's rare you get to hear a hi-hat chick used as like a main driving part of a beat. Okay, got another round we got in here. I thought that was gonna be the end of it. Thought it was gonna just kind of fizzle out, but we're getting a fade. I mean, of course it's a fade. It's got a loop. It's a game song, right? Like I mentioned, the panning, the mixing of this one is very interesting to me. The drum set is very centered. I mean, I'm getting from my perspective here, I'm hearing the cymbals like right here, like right above where my eye is if I'm looking straight ahead. So that's putting it kind of more in the left, obviously away from the right. That would make it mix as if you're sitting behind the kit, which I find very interesting. A lot of times you hear the opposite, sometimes you hear the other. It kind of just depends on the mix and master person to make those types of calls usually. Um, but what I think is more interesting is that the snare is almost dead center, which isn't an uncommon place for the snare to be, I suppose. Like some people do like wear their snare right in the center of the kit, which I kind of have it more off to the left a little bit, closer to the hi-hat. But not everyone plays the same, not everyone has the same setup. And all the symbols and everything felt pretty centered as well, which again, kind of unique, is a lot of the time there's panning being had. The symbol right above your hi-hat would be on the left side and vice versa for the right. And like things like the ride felt more centered, which I think is a unique pan. I'm used to hearing it a little bit broader in a lot of modern mixes. So that's kind of that's kind of cool to hear, I suppose. A weird thing to bring up maybe, but I just noticed it, especially compared to the guitar, which was very wide. Like the rhythm guitar and the lead guitar, of course the lead guitar was a little bit more centered, but the rhythm guitars were definitely like, it felt like it was a perfect pan both left and right. It felt like they had two different takes of that guitar pass in each ear and made it feel that much more wide, but it could have just been the same one duplicated and drug out in either direction. The mixing on this one is really what's settling in my head as a point to talk about, I suppose. The drums, of course, I mean, it's pretty straightforward with the rock groove. You're just doing your thing. I did like that they used the chick on the hi-hat, just using the pedal on the hi-hat to just play to that initial groove and then to bring it back near the end. I think that was really fun. Very rare to have that sort of thing used in songs. And other than that, it was just kind of a general rock groove, some fun tom fills and stuff. The toms being so full in tone compared to the very thin crashes was interesting to me for some reason. There's a lot of uniqueness in my mind for this drum kit, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. That's why I'm kind of curious if there's information out there about what kit was used for this. I doubt it. It was probably just whatever bog standard kit they had in the studio that day. I doubt that there's a specific reason for picking this specific kit they had, but maybe the cymbals were a choice of the percussionist or the composer that wrote it, thinking that tone of that brighter, more crisp, like cut through the sound kind of tone would work best. And there's a lot of potentials there that obviously you don't really know unless you're the one in the room making the song. So it's a lot of weird, very unique topic to talk about on this one for me, compared to my usual, wow, that sounded cool, I love it, which of course, like, I really enjoyed it, but it made me get a little bit more introspective about that technical aspect of the mixing for some reason. It just, there's something about it that made me kind of pay attention to that side of my mind a little bit more, and it made me hyper focus on it, which is why I'm, compared to usual, I'm just kind of going off about whatever is hyping me up in that moment. I feel very aware, and I feel like I'm talking really smooth and articulated right now, which is strange for me. I don't know if that's just a mental space I'm in today, but this is a unique video for sure, I guess, for a unique property. So I guess without further ado, I think that's all I can say, and I guess this will be the end of the video. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you're new here and you're actually watching this video first, I do a lot of things on a bunch of different series, so go check those out too, with varying degrees of hype and everything else. If you got something else you want me to get to that's not from any of those, leave it in the comments below, and I try to get to the ones that get the most likes. And if you're, other than that, interested in following me and supporting me, you know how to do all that, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!